Hey YouTube, this is JR for the Tech Reviewers. I just wanted to do a quick review on my Compaq Presario V3000 notebook PC. So let's take a look and jump in. So what you get here are the 3 indicator lights and a Wi-Fi switch. And if you keep on going more to the right of the computer, you get a infrared receiver, a microphone input in, and a headphone jack out. So here we have a compact disc rewritable and a DVD multi-recorder rewritable. And so what we have here is the charger plug-in port. You have the 56K modem port and 2 USBs 2.0 and a Kingston lock. On the other side of the computer, you have a S-video out, a VGA out, an expansion bay port 3, and you have a Ethernet 10 by 100 Ethernet, and you have another USB 2.0, a FireWire 800, and a SDHC SD card slot, and you have your PCI Express card slot. On the inside of the computer, you have a nice 3-inch trackpad. They're very it has one click where you just click it and the whole side clicks, and you could turn the keyboard off by just clicking one button and unclicking it to unlock it again. And here we have a full style 98% keyboard because it doesn't have the number keys. And then here's a power indicator switch, and here is the HP, what they call it, quick start buttons. And here we have a nice, I think it's a 14.2 widescreen display. I believe it's not HD because when I right click and I go under screen resolution, the screen resolution, it's only 1280 by 800. So I don't think it's HD, but it plays HD video quality perfect. So let's take a look at the specs of the computer. So the processor we have is an AMD Turion 64X2 running at 1.6 gigahertz, and we have 1.5 gigabytes of RAM and only 1.37 usable because it's used for the AMD and I think it's NVIDIA graphics card, and it has a 64-bit operating system. And let's take a look at the Windows experience rating. So my base score is a 3.0, my processor score is a 4.2, which is good for how old it is, and my RAM is a 4.5. I bet you could go even higher when I upgrade the RAM to like 2 gigs. And my graphics card for Aero is a 3.0. My graphics for gaming is 3.0, which is okay for how old it is. And my hard drive is a 4.9 because I have a 120 gigabyte 5400 instead of a 7200 hard drive, or an SSD, which I plan to putting on this machine. See? Okay. And let's do, the only 2 problems that I have with this computer is that whenever I turn it on without the AC power cord, it won't turn on. So it would turn on, but you wouldn't get any response back for the computer, like loading the operating system, the BIOS would go on. If you turn it on 3 or 4 times without the power plug, it would eventually start on. But if you have the power cord in, it would always turn on. And another thing I also have about this computer is I think the LCD cable is getting cut off, because when I go like this, you can see everything starts flickering and stuff. So I think it has to do something with the cable. So if you guys know anything, if it's about the cable, I could probably get it replaced for cheap. But other than that, it's fine. And the battery life, it has its original 6-cell battery, and it gives me a good 3.5 hours. And it also does everything else well. Let's try to open something else. Here, like Windows Media Center. See how it'll also show you a performance.
Coming up on Techzilla, it's our last episode of the year. We're going to wrap up our favorite news and the biggest tech stories. We're going to give you one last reminder to back up your stuff, pick the best Blu-rays of 2011, and quite a bit more. So put the champagne on ice and dig out your favorite flutes, because Techzilla starts now.
So if you guys are recommending and getting this computer, I would recommend it. I probably wouldn't. My 2 reasons why: it's because it was a recalled computer, and you may not know if the person took it in to get it fixed, and if it still has the old graphics card issue, which would overheat if your computer would just turn off, and you needed to get your motherboard replaced. And that's one reason why. The second reason why is they tendency to have problems over time, but I knew what I was getting, which for $50 was probably a better deal where you guys would buy off eBay, because I think around eBay you could get this $80, $50, $100, but you don't know what you're getting. I knew what I was getting because I was the one who personally saw it before, used it, and put all the software, and I knew that it was perfectly legit and everything. There was nothing bad about it, because I was there when she went to go get the computer replaced with everything mainly new inside it. There's one downside that I also wouldn't recommend it, is that the hinges, I think, are failing, because whenever you move it, it makes squeaky noises. As you can hear. And also it flaps around, it's lopsided. If you see how it pops out like that, as you can see, it just stays like that. It doesn't have, if you push on it, it would stay, but that's how it is. It flops up. And the other issue I have about it is that because the graphic card was replaced, and I don't think they did a good enough job, or it probably still has the same issue but not as bad, is my VGA cord. As you can see here, my VGA port, it won't work at all. It would work if you connect a VGA cord in, but what would happen is that it would show everything except the red color. So if you connect your VGA cord in, like so, if you connected your VGA cord in like so, like this, your monitor on your external display or projector will only show the the green and the blue colors, and no red. So it would this would be basically useless. You only could use it as video, which I don't use as much because it's as video and it's not as great. But that's all I really have about the complaint about the computer. So you could mainly use only its internal display, what it gives you. But if you get a USB to VGA graphics card kind of plug-in, that are like this big. You plug it in and you get a VGA out of your USB. With the dongle that you could purchase off eBay for like 30 bucks, and it's probably good, but I wouldn't recommend doing that. So this is my review on my Compaq Presario V3000 notebook PC. I hope you enjoyed it, and stay tuned for more awesome videos. Bye bye.